Many women and girls feel unsafe on our streets, particularly at night. What's needed is legal protection, and that's why we've called for a specific new law on street harassment and also for toughening the law on stalking. Both, I think, are absolutely vital if we're going to make meaningful change in the everyday experiences of women and girls. So can the Prime Minister commit to take both of these measures forward?
Mr. Speaker, we're always happy to look at new proposals. What we're already doing is introducing tougher sanctions on stalkers, or that's already been brought in, and we're bringing in new measures to make the streets safer. Of course, that's the right thing to do, Mr. Speaker. Last night there was a bill before the House on police crime and sentencing, which did a lot to protect women and girls, which did a lot to protect women and girls, and it would have been good in a cross-party way, Mr. Speaker, to have had the support of the opposition.
Keir Starmer.
Mr. Speaker, I'll come to last night's bill later, but it did say a lot more about protecting statues than it did about protecting women. But walking on through the system, as many women and girls have to do, and facing up to the challenges that we need to face up to as a House, the next challenge is the point the Prime Minister just referenced, and that's the sentences for rape and sexual violence, because they need to be toughened. Let me give the House 3 examples. John Patrick, convicted of raping a 13-year-old girl, he received a 7-year sentence. Orlando and Constanzo, convicted of raping a woman in a nightclub, they received a 7.5-year sentence. James Reeve, convicted of raping a 7-year-old girl, he received a 9-year sentence. Does the Prime Minister agree we need urgently to look at this and to toughen sentences for rape and serious sexual violence?
Prime Minister.
Mr. Speaker, wouldn't it be a wonderful thing if there was a bill going through the House of Commons which did exactly that? Wouldn't it be a wonderful thing if there were measures to defend women and girls from violent and sex criminals? Wouldn't it be a wonderful thing if there was a bill before the House to have tougher sentences for child murderers and tougher punishments for sex offenders? That, I think, would be a fine thing, Mr. Speaker. As it happens, there is such a bill before the House. I think it would be a great thing if the right honourable gentleman actually had voted for it. He still has time. This bill is still before the House. He can lift his opposition. They actually voted against it, Mr. Speaker, on a 3-line whip, and I think it was crazy.
Keir Starmer.
Mr. Speaker, he mentions the bill last night. That provided for longer maximum sentences for damaging a memorial than the sentences imposed in the 3 cases of rape I've referred the House to. All of those sentences less than 10 years. I thank the Prime Minister for providing me with the best examples of why the priorities in his bill were so wrong. And nothing in that bill would have increased the length of sentence in any of those rape cases. Nothing in that bill.